I'm going to give you the rundown on magnesium malate, which is a type of magnesium that is combined with malic acid. But I want to, as always, it's never one thing. It's really like a mosaic of interlocking, interrelated items that really heal your body. And I can't overemphasize also that getting outside in the blue sunshine, well, it's not blue sunshine, blue skies, but blue is actually a color that's known to be an antidepressant and known for calming. That's why a lot of times you feel good when you go outside. You actually see the ocean out there and you see the sky and you're like, oh, you just feel good. Partly it's the color blue, but it's also the frequencies that you're getting from the sun. Now I'm showing here a young woman who's getting a tan. Now I want to say something about vitamin D levels and tanning. You can tan all you want, and you can have this deep, rich, dark tan. You know, say you were started out as a white Caucasian person, and you had this deep, rich, dark tan, and you're out there in the sun a lot. You could still have very low vitamin D levels if you are short on magnesium. And this is actually a common thing in the United States whereby people are short on magnesium because the magnesium is actually processed out of the foods when it goes through the normal food processing and when we buy it, before we buy it at the supermarket. And also magnesium is actually depleted in the soils. We actually have too much calcium. But the thing is, you can't bring up your vitamin D levels. Now the vitamin D is the vitamin D protein, the vitamin D binding protein, is the precursor for this thing called GC-MAF, which actually is a macrophage activating factor, which can be it's very powerful in waking up your immune system that could fight a number of ailments. Now, also, I want to talk about this particular. See, unfortunately, I can't talk about one item because I'm not giving you the whole spiel, because it's never one item that is a miracle. It's one item in conjunction with other things. Now, this magnesium malate is a particular type of magnesium that is much superior to other types. Usually when you get magnesium in a store, it's magnesium oxide. It's not bad to take that, but magnesium malate is better. It's actually combined with malic acid. Malic acid is found in apples and oranges. Malic acid is known for detoxifying or removing or chelating out of your body heavy metals, which are very harmful to your body. Malic acid is also known for bringing up the energy levels in your body. Malic acid in apples is something where you can bring up your energy levels and burn fat. Malic acid is also good for collagen in the skin. That's why this type of magnesium combined with malic acid, magnesium malate, is a better type to get. I can't overemphasize this enough. So here's one particular brand or whatever. Just, I'm not going to sell you a brand or anything like that, but basically it's a special type of magnesium combined with malic acid. Again, the malic acid is found in apples and oranges. Apples have been known, you always heard that expression, adage out there, apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's true as anything. Apples actually are one of the best foods. I remember when I was really on a program to stay extremely lean and fit, what I would do to try to, if I got really hungry during the day, I would have an apple. It was easy to take with me. There's no storage problems, no spoilage problems. And I would eat the entire apple because it had in the seeds. So anyway, the laetrile that's contained in the apple seeds is also known as vitamin B17. Is something whereby it's been known to actually destroy cancer cells. Like it works almost like a targeted chemotherapy. Not the subject of this video itself, but something I want to mention in there. In other words, magnesium malate is a better type of magnesium to take because it contains malic acid. Malic acid is known for helping to chelate heavy metals out of your body, and it's also known for bringing up your metabolism. Apples also have malic acid. It's a good food to have when you're on the run. And to eat the whole entire apple, with including the seeds. You don't want to eat a cup of seeds, though. That's bad. But just the seeds in the apple. Eat the entire apple. You don't have to throw nothing away. And the seeds themselves contain vitamin B17 or laetrile, which is known for, knocking out cancer. Now, I also can't overemphasize frequencies and also meditation. The thing is that a lot of people are in a busy environment, but the thing is, there's another side effect with, it's not a side effect or a good effect from magnesium. Magnesium is known to alleviate most psych disorders. In other words, if you don't have time to meditate or get out there in the sun and look at the sun and do sun gazing when the sun is at sunsetting, I mean, that could help with a lot of different things. But you know, there's a huge industry out there globally. It's actually a $500 billion industry, $500 billion in psychotropic drugs sold worldwide that can be readily put out of business by, well, basically two things: niacin, true nicotinic acid, and magnesium. Magnesium has been known to help alleviate anxiety, depression, and a number of problems that are used, psych drugs are used to address. But they'll never administer magnesium because they'd be losing $500 billion globally, and actually most of that $500 billion is spent mainly, that revenue stream is mainly realized in the USA and in Europe. So, and the other thing, like I said, I just want to mention it, besides, is also nicotinic acid. And nicotinic acid is something which is vitamin B3. It's also known for a detoxifier to take out a lot of the problems that have been accumulating in your body, which are from, you know, the pesticides or the ingredients that are in food or things you have touched. The malic acid is something else that can help remove a lot of the heavy metals. And also vitamin B3, nicotinic acid, the true nicotinic acid, the ones that gives you a flush. Now, I want to mention something like, you know, I've been different weights during my life, and this is me back when I was in mid 30s. I was running what you call a 24-hour race. We didn't run 24 hours. We'd run a mile basically every hour, but on a 24-hour basis. I was 35 here, and you know, I was running my miles. I think I did average of low 6 minutes. I never went over 6:30 or something, or whatever it was, 6:20 or something like that. I forgot what it was. Pretty, you know, good, because when you're running this at 3 o'clock in the morning after you start at 8 a.m. in the morning the following day, you know, or the day before, and you got to get up every hour and run this thing, you should see was how much it was taking a toll on people. I stayed consistent. But, you know, I'm going to say, like, I am pretty much on a ball with a lot of this stuff, even though my weight's varied and my weight is a lot higher now. And I could show you, I'm going to show you on the next picture what my weight was after I dropped. I gained weight after this, years after this, and then I dropped it, and I got in better shape than I was here in my 50s. And it's from stuff I learned from nutrition and exercise. I could do it when I want to. I'm probably going to be on it. It looks like I'm going to be on it right here again. But here I was in the Marine Corps, 35 years old, doing this stuff, because I went in when I was just about 27, just because nobody in my family was in, everyone in my family was in the military. Nobody was in the Marine Corps before me. But here I am doing this stuff. There's people in there that got in there when 18. There's, think, 35. They could barely walk up a flight of stairs without, you know, they're like, I'm too old for this. They used to aggravate the heck out of me. There's no limit on age. No limit on age if you're doing the right stuff and you're doing the right nutrition. You could be in your 90s doing this stuff. You could probably be running a marathon when you're 100. So that here I was 35. Here I was 56. I did gain weight after the 35 in my, I think in my mid. I didn't gain any weight till I was like in the mid 40s. And then I dropped, and I stayed like this for about 5-6 years. Now I gained weight, but not near as bad as I did in my 40s, but I'll be down again. But you can knock the weight off with the right nutrition and exercise. Now, part of my advantage was very used to exercising. And I want to also point out something else, because I don't like giving you one thing in this video, because the malic acid has been known to help with your metabolism. The magnesium has been known to help with the metabolism. The magnesium is essential essential part of getting your vitamin D levels up. You could take all the vitamin D in the world, and if you don't have adequate magnesium levels, you will not get your vitamin D levels up. Everything's interrelated. That's one of the problems with some of these YouTube videos out there. They make it sound like this one thing is a miracle. It's not that way. That's not how it works. Now, I'm showing these African warriors here. One of the things I picked up that I really used to help me a lot to get over not eating that much and dropping like 87 pounds in 5 months. And that's how I guess I looked like, I was down to like 8% body fat and everything. And one of the things I did was I used to take Hoodia gardenia, which is a cactus. It's a cactus found in Africa. The African warriors, when they were on a hunt and they didn't eat for like 3 days, they would chew on this cactus. A lot of times people, when they take these Hoodia pills, they take them and they swallow them and they do absolutely nothing. What you want to do is you want to take the pill and chew on it and keep it in your mouth as long, just let it dissolve in your mouth as long as possible. Like if you take that one capsule and it's got the Hoodia gardenia in it, and you want to just make it last as long as possible. That is what gets you over the hump on hunger pains. If you take the capsule and you swallow it, it doesn't work at all. That helped me a lot too. That and the apples, all these, I was taking a gazillion vitamins and I'm just working out like crazy. Right now, I think the missing link for me right now, where I've been noticing very, very recently that, I always thought I had pretty good energy, but I've noticed this is one thing I've noticed, it would seem to be the missing link for me. Now, I already take, vitamin D along with K2. I take the magnesium. I take Nature's Way Alive whole food energizers, flax oil, fish oil, borage oil, olive leaf extract, biotin, CoQ10, vitamin C, you name it, okay? Olive leaf extract, boron, vitamin E, which that's another thing you can't get enough of in your diet. But I already take all this stuff. And I've already taken probiotics before. And I've never noticed them doing anything. Even when I got the best ones, Alphadophilus, whatever, acidophilus, probiotics, whatever, the best ones. When I started taking this colostrum liposomol delivery Sovereign Labs, and I've just started doing this about maybe not even a week, and maybe 2 weeks, but the first week I was taking like one of them a day, which is nothing. You're supposed to take a lot more than that. I started doing the correct dose maybe about 3-4 days ago, and this I have noticed a big difference in. I also noticed it on one of my kitty cats. I had the video on there, Miss Gold Digger, the cat, and she's feeling way better taking this stuff after giving her cat vitamins and all this wonderful stuff. And this stuff is amazing. I think I did talk about this on another video. I want to mention it in here, but never it's one thing. I can also remember one time I was doing all this working out, and I was getting back to this. This is before it was during the period when I was going back to this. I remembered all of a sudden I was feeling very, 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 very tired. And of course, yeah, I'm working out a lot. Also, I was taking MSM, chondroitin, glucosamine, and hyaluronic acids because you need to replace all the stuff in your joints. And I was literally I was on a elliptical machine on some crazy hard level, like really high intensity, with running cardio like 85% for like a 25-year-old, and here I'm in my 50s, and for 3 hours straight. Sometimes it was even on there. The worst I would do was 2 4-hour workouts, or wait a minute, two 3-hour workouts and a 2-hour workout in a single day for 8 hours of that stuff. That's how I dropped this much. I dropped like 87 pounds in 5 months, right? But that's part of it from just being a work, physical freak, working out. I did way more in the Marine Corps on working out than the average person. And I did that way before I was in the Marine Corps. Way before. So when I want to, It's still in there. But, I got to watch because I'm older, I'm in my 60s. I'm a senior citizen, but, I feel okay. But the thing is, there was one ingredient that I was missing. And this is the thing. It might not be what you're missing. But when I found out when I was taking the Nature's Way Alive Whole Food Vitamins Energizer, I was taking the one without iron. Iron, right? Now, you sweat out a lot of these minerals when you're working out, too. That's another thing. You got to replace the trace minerals and all that. I started taking the iron. Immediately, it was like turning on a light bulb. My energy levels went way back up again. So, back when I was doing this, when I was like 35, back here, I wasn't taking any vitamins hardly. I was take, I don't know, what do you call them, like the protein bars that had vitamins in it. And I was eating a lot of salads and stuff, but I never took any vitamins. And I was out in the sun all the time too. But so I mean, you can don't let them. You could be 450 pounds, and you could drop down to like a 160 if you wanted to. I mean, you really could. It's like you gotta like combine everything. But this is some of the things that are really like way deficient in the U.S. diet. Is magnesium. The best form to take is the magnesium malate. It has a malic acid. Another one that is way deficient is vitamin E. You want to take the vitamin E with mixed tocopherols. And there's absolutely no way you can get enough optimal amount vitamin E. Not saying vitamin E where you need enough to basically survive. You get that obviously because we're surviving. But optimal amounts of vitamin E are impossible to get but it's echo like E are impossible to get from the diet, no matter how good it is. Another thing that is way off balance in the American diet is potassium. There's the potassium sodium balance. It's not that we have too much sodium, it's the fact that we don't have enough potassium. Now, I'm going to title this video about magnesium and magnesium malate, energy loss, weight loss, and mood. But I did bring up a number of subjects, and I just wanted to point out I have been up and down on my weight. Now, it seems to be with me personally, I got to work out like a fiend to be lean. I don't know. It's just something how I am. I don't know what it is. But I always was like that since, I don't know, I was always like, I was book smart, but I was athletic. I was always like that. And if I work in an office too much, you get screwed up. That's how it is. But I can't overemphasize some of these simple things. And these are simple things that most people will be missing. If you're missing one thing, you're going to have problems. I can't put everything in one video. I'm trying to give you a good overview. Like I mentioned that I was taking things to help my joints not fall apart and wear down because of the extreme amount of exercise I was doing. It's freaking crazy. I'm going to tell you this. When I was back, I don't want to brag about this. I can't. It's like I'm kind of fed up with the Marine Corps because there's so many things. It's not like 1776 Ton Tavern, nowhere near it. Not like Vietnam. Today it's different. But I used to work out. I used to run 8 miles a day out in the sun when it was like 90-something degrees, up hills. And at a fast pace. And on a week, and I would hit the pull-up bars, do push-ups and sit-ups after it came back. And then on the evenings, I would also do more stuff, like either bicycle usually, right? And then on the weekends, I would bicycle like 100 plus miles in a day or run a 20-miler. And I was in my 30s and late 40s, late 30s, and I think early 40s. And These guys were like, what was I in my? Wait a minute, I think I got out when I was 40, and not because I couldn't do this stuff, but anyway, but not at all. But I'm telling you that I've seen people. There's stories where people are 100 years old running a marathon, but it's not just willpower. You got to have the nutrition. But if you sit on your butt and you don't get out there and do something, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Unfortunately, when people work in the office a lot, that's what happens to them. That's what happened to me. But I know that, I know it's very tough to get down really lean. But I was surprised how much my body snapped back when I was in my mid-50s. It got better than when I was in my freaking 30s and 20s, even, I think. Maybe right on par. I think because I was doing the nutrition, I never did the nutrition stuff back in my 20s and 30s. But some of the best foods you can have is a simple apple or oranges. Don't worry about the negative. You don't need to eat apples all freaking day, but sometimes I would eat a few of them a day. That's a pretty near perfect food for just on the go. But again, if you do not have enough magnesium in you, you will not raise your vitamin D levels no matter how much you're out in the sun. It just doesn't work that way. You could be tanned and out there every day, all day, playing volleyball or whatever you're doing. You're not going to raise your vitamin D levels without adequate magnesium, and most people in the United States are magnesium deficient. Magnesium malate is one of the best. It's more absorbable. Also, the malic acid helps chelate some of the heavy metals, as I said before, and it helps with the metabolism and burning more fat. Malic acid is also found in the apples. So I hopefully I gave you more of instead of just one thing here, because a lot of this stuff is interrelated. You just, I see these 2-minute blurb videos on YouTube, and I'm thinking, they're selling something. I'm not selling you anything. I'm trying to give you an overview, and I'm also telling you that I know that it's tough to lose the weight, but once you get everything clicking right, it comes off really fast. And when it comes off fast, you got energy like crazy, like you wouldn't believe. Anyway, over and out. Have a nice day.